Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 98 in the book of Genesis. Today's title is She is My Sister, comma, again. So we're going to move our location to western Israel, to basically to the Gaza area, if you look at the map today. And a new guy sees the beauty of Sarah, who's by our standards pretty old, and she's so beautiful that everybody worries that he's going to kill for her. So this guy's name is Abimelech, which means my father is king, and he's king of Gerar. And the worry that Abraham has is that the fear of God is not in this guy, in Abimelech, but we kind of see that the fear of God is not in Abraham. So, she's my sister again. This is from Genesis chapter 20. Read with me, starting in verse number 1. From there, Abraham journeyed toward the territory of the Negeb and lived between Kadesh and Shur, and he sojourned in Gerar. That's just a little bit east of Gaza. And Abraham said of his wife, "She is my sister." And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. Now, that was the first weird thing in the story, because Abraham is the guy with 318 men, defeats 5 armies that came all the way from the Persian area. And he already has known that God is fighting his battles for him. And again, he reverts to this sort of self preservation where he's saying that she is my sister. And Sarah says of Abraham, she keeps telling everybody, "Oh, my husband is old." But apparently she's so beautiful that she's beautiful enough to kill for still. So in the story, Abraham's going to preserve his neck, but not work on preserving her virtue. And this is now the second time that this has happened. Ironically, it's going to happen a third time with Isaac, their son. But the hero in the story is God, because God is going to preserve the situation. Okay, verse 3. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, "Behold, you're a dead man because of this woman you have taken, for she is a man's wife." Now Abimelech had not approached her. So, argument number 1, purity number 1. So he said, "Lord, will you kill an innocent people? I'm innocent of this." Did he not himself say, "She is my sister," and she herself say, "He is my brother"? In the integrity of my heart and the innocence of my hands I have done this. I'm innocent, hands and heart. Then God said to him in a dream, "Yes, I know that you have done this in the integrity of your heart, and it was I who kept you from sinning against me." Let me pause right there. I think that's so interesting, that if Abimelech would have taken Sarah in a sexual way, that would have been a sin against, maybe Abraham and Sarah, but certainly the God says this, not people. Sexual sins are primarily done against the Lord. That's very sobering. Therefore, I kept you from sinning against me. Therefore, I did not let you touch her. This is God still talking. Now then, return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, so that he will pray for you, and you shall live. But if you do not return her, know that you shall surely die, and all who are yours. So Abimelech arose early in the morning, no kidding, and he gives us immediate obedience. You got to love that. And called all his servants and told them all these things, and the men were very much afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? And how have I sinned against you, that you have brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? You have done to me things that ought not to be done." And Abimelech said to Abram, "What did you see that you did this thing?" Abraham said, "I did it." So here's Abraham's rationale. Listen to this. "I did it because I thought there was no fear of God in all this place, and they will kill me because of my wife." That's what he's thinking, when they actually demonstrate lots of fear of God. Verse 12, "Besides, she is indeed my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. And when God caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, 'This is the kindness you must do to me. At every place to which we come, say of me, he is my brother.'" So now Abimelech is going to try to make things right. Verse 14, "Then Abimelech took sheep and oxen, male and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and returned Sarah, his wife, to him. And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before you. Dwell where it pleases you. To Sarah he said, Behold, I have given you your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It is a sign of your innocence in the eyes of all who are with you. Before everyone you are vindicated. Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, and also healed his wife and female slaves, so that they bore children. For the Lord had closed all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. All right, so a big point is made is that there was no sexual dalliance with Sarah. To make it clear that the father of Isaac is Abraham, not Abimelech. He says he had not approached her, he was innocent of this, he had integrity of heart and integrity and innocent of hand, and God did not allow him to touch him. And then Abimelech confirms this at the end with 1,000 pieces of silver. So the motivation of Abraham, interesting, is he says there's no fear of God in Abimelech, but that it's really Abraham that's demonstrating no fear of God. All right, so let's make just some conclusions here. I think a pearl in the story is that sexual sin is against God. In fact, God says, just flat out says so. I have done this to keep you from sinning against me. That's a little pearl for us. Secondly, Abraham's moral imperfection. God continues to be the hero of the story, not Abraham. It shows Abraham's kind of knuckleheaded willingness to take things into his own hands. And it's a cautionary tale. But God is, you see here that God is starting to preserve and make sure that the line of salvation is a pure line, this redemptive line that goes all the way to Christ here now. So that even though Abraham has lost sight of the sovereignty of God, God has not forgotten. And God has preserved this situation and continues somehow to use us humans. So once again, we see Abraham's ploy. She's my sister. Again, don't be like this. Thanks for listening.